Welcome back to the channel where Cowboys Nation comes alive, where the heart of Texas football beats with every whisper, rumor, and breaking story that emerges from the star in Frisco. We've got some serious developments brewing today, and if you thought the offseason was going to be quiet for the Dallas Cowboys, think again. Because things are heating up fast. And when the Cowboys are in the spotlight, you know it's not just about business as usual. We're diving deep into some explosive new reports from NFL insiders, particularly from ESPN, who have dropped major hints about Micah Parsons' future with the team, what's going on with rising star Tyler Smith, and a surprise twist involving none other than veteran cornerback Stephon Gilmore. So buckle up, Cowboys fans, because this one's going to be a wild ride through the heart of the team's most urgent, most polarizing contract and roster decisions. First up, let's talk about the face of the Dallas Cowboys defense, Micah Parsons. ESPN insider reports are suggesting that discussions around a blockbuster deal for Parsons are not just heating up, they're reaching a boiling point. There's growing buzz from multiple NFL executives that the Cowboys are preparing to make Parsons one of the highest-paid defensive players in NFL history. And honestly, who could argue with that move? Since entering the league, Parsons has been nothing short of a game wrecker, redefining what it means to be a linebacker with his unique combination of speed, power, and pure instinct. But here's where things get juicy. According to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, the Cowboys front office is wrestling with not just how much to pay Parsons, but when to pay him. The franchise is currently in a delicate dance with the salary cap, juggling extensions, restructures, and a roster that needs both veteran leadership and young star power. And while Parsons has 2 years left on his rookie deal thanks to his fifth-year option, sources suggest the Cowboys don't want to wait that long. That urgency, however, has sparked internal debates about what a potential $140–150 million extension could mean for the rest of the roster. Some around the league are whispering that this kind of financial commitment could have ripple effects, possibly even influencing the team's decisions at other positions. Think offensive line, think wide receiver depth, and yes, think running back, which has been a major question mark this offseason. What's most intriguing is the suggestion that the Cowboys may structure Parsons' deal in a way that heavily backloads the money to preserve flexibility in the short term. That's the kind of forward-thinking approach that could keep Dallas competitive while still rewarding their top defensive weapon. Now, while all eyes are on Parsons, there's another name quietly gaining major attention behind the scenes: Tyler Smith. According to the same ESPN report, league insiders are raving about the Cowboys' 2022 first-round pick and his rapid development into one of the most dominant young linemen in the league. This is a player who stepped in during a time of need and has quickly become the cornerstone of the offensive line. Smith's versatility, being able to play both guard and tackle at a high level, has made him indispensable. But it's not just his play that's grabbing headlines, it's the growing sentiment within the Cowboys coaching staff and front office that Smith might be in line for an early extension, possibly as soon as next offseason. Yes, you heard that right. The Cowboys are already planning how to lock up their key building blocks for the next decade, and Smith is firmly in those conversations. What's significant here is how Smith's performance could influence how the Cowboys draft and sign free agents going forward. If Smith becomes their long-term answer at left tackle once Tyron Smith finally retires, it could completely shift how the team allocates resources on the line. This might also explain why the team didn't go after some of the bigger names in free agency to shore up the line. They believe in Smith, and that belief could turn into a major payday soon. But don't be surprised if we hear more about Smith in training camp as a potential team captain. That's how much this young man has grown in just 2 seasons. And now for the twist that nobody saw coming: Stephon Gilmore. The veteran corner had a solid year with the Cowboys in 2023, and while many assumed he would quietly exit in free agency or retire altogether, there's a new rumor flying around that Gilmore could be coming back to Dallas under the radar. ESPN's Ed Werder reported that the Cowboys have kept open lines of communication with Gilmore's representatives, and that both sides have mutual interest in a short-term reunion. The idea? Bring Gilmore back as a savvy veteran presence while allowing Trayvon Diggs and Darren Bland to take even more of the spotlight. And here's the kicker: Gilmore would likely come back on a team-friendly deal, possibly loaded with incentives. This could be a chess move by the Cowboys front office. Bringing Gilmore back gives them a mentor for the younger DBs, depth in case of injury, and a player who already knows Dan Quinn's system well, now Mike Zimmer's system, but the philosophy won't shift drastically. It's about versatility, ball hawking, and physicality, all of which Gilmore still brings in doses. Fans should also remember that Gilmore was part of some huge defensive plays last season. He might not be in his prime, but his football IQ is off the charts, and pairing that with guys like Diggs and Bland could make this secondary among the best in the NFC. This move isn't just about nostalgia, it's about building a smarter, deeper, and more experienced defense. So how do all these puzzle pieces fit together? If the Cowboys go all in on Parsons, look to secure Smith early, and re-sign Gilmore on a low-cost deal, you're looking at a team that's doubling down on its core identity: physical, fast, and built through a combination of youth and savvy veterans. But it also means hard decisions are ahead. There's still no resolution on the long-term futures of Dak Prescott or CeeDee Lamb, and these moves or the money required for them could create pressure points that the Cowboys will have to navigate carefully. You can't pay everyone, and if Parsons gets paid at the top of the market, someone else might be the odd man out. And then there's the Micah Parsons factor in the locker room. This is a guy who's more than just a pass rusher, he's become the emotional leader of this team. Teammates listen when he speaks, and coaches have said time and again that he sets the tone in practice. But if negotiations get messy, or if Parsons feels undervalued, that could shift team dynamics. We've seen it happen in other franchises. The Cowboys have to walk a fine line, show Parsons the money, but do it in a way that keeps the locker room united and the cap sheet manageable. Not an easy task, especially in a league where one bad contract can derail your entire window. As for Tyler Smith, the Cowboys know what they have, and they're determined not to repeat mistakes of the past. Remember when they waited too long to secure key offensive linemen like Lyle Collins or Ronald Leary? The front office has learned that lesson the hard way. Expect them to be more proactive this time around. If Smith continues on his trajectory, he could be a perennial Pro Bowler and a foundational piece for the next decade. The Cowboys want to lock that up now, before his market value explodes. And on the Gilmore front, the buzz is real. Don't be surprised if the Cowboys announce something quietly in the coming weeks, maybe just before or after training camp kicks off. That's typically when the team makes strategic veteran signings, and Gilmore fits that mold perfectly. The move would signal to the rest of the NFC that the Cowboys aren't just focused on flash, they're thinking long-term, chess not checkers football. It's also worth mentioning how these developments shape up with Mike Zimmer now officially calling the shots on defense. Zimmer's influence on the roster can't be overstated. He values disciplined, aggressive defenses with high football IQ and veteran leadership. Gilmore checks that box. Parsons, of course, is a dream player for any defensive coordinator. And if Zimmer has any say in the structure of this team, and sources say he absolutely does, you can bet he's lobbying hard for these three moves to get done. Zimmer knows this unit has the bones of a top 5 defense, but only if the right pieces stay in place. Cowboys fans have a right to be excited but cautious. The franchise is on the brink of doing something special, but they have to execute perfectly. That means fair but rewarding deals, smart veteran contracts, and a laser focus on building around their core. If they do that, this team isn't just a playoff contender, it's a Super Bowl contender. But if they fumble these negotiations, it could be yet another year of what-ifs in Big D. As we move closer to training camp, keep your eyes on those official updates and insider reports. The deal for Parsons could happen fast and set the tone for the entire season. Smith's trajectory could reshape the offensive line overnight. And the return of Gilmore? That might be the stealth move that puts this defense over the top. For now, these are just rumors, but in Cowboys land, where there's smoke, there's usually a blue and silver fire burning bright. So stay tuned, stay loud, and let us know in the comments, do you want the Cowboys to pay Micah Parsons top dollar now or wait until next year? Should Tyler Smith get an early extension or ride out his rookie deal? And would you welcome Stephon Gilmore back, or do you think it's time to go younger in the secondary? Every opinion counts here, because this is more than just football, it's Cowboys football. And as always, if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on America's team. Because when it comes to the Cowboys, there's never an off-season, it's always headline season.